Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Here we are, Monday again. Hope everybody had a good weekend. All right, so a few people are on. Gonna share the screen here. All right, here we go. We'll start right in on the questions. So we've got the first one that came in. Excuse me. I have an MRI scheduled for Friday. I also will be scheduling a massage. I've started the gadolinium drops already. Is it better to schedule the massage for a few weeks after the MRI so I have had time to clear some of the gadolinium from my system before getting the massage, or schedule the massage right away after the MRI to help clear the gadolinium from my system? So I don't see a problem with scheduling the massage right, close to after your massage. I don't know if you would be getting it, immediately after or, the day after, but certainly I don't see a problem in getting a massage closely after, just to help get the lymphatic system moving and, really to help just get it through the system and detox it. I will say that you want to make sure, you're continuing to support all of your organs of detoxification, and so certainly want to make sure that you're not constipated, all of the things that we kind of talk about when we talk about detoxing. So yeah, just continue to take those gadolinium drops and make sure you're not constipated, stay hydrated, drink a lot of water, and you certainly can schedule a massage shortly after your MRI, and you could do another one in a couple weeks too. So massage is just a great way to relax, but then also it is, mechanically moving muscles, which does stimulate the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is, part of getting rid of toxins, getting rid of waste, emptying them back into the circulatory system, so we can get rid of them through our digestive tract. So, so you can do multiple massages. Okay. I am confused and curious about the clinic's new address. Did the clinic and everyone move to Wisconsin? Do you still see patients at the clinic ever? And if you're still in Minnesota, what and who is in Wisconsin? So good question. So yes, we are in Wisconsin. We are no longer in Minnesota. We do not have the Lake Elmo Clinic anymore. The lease was up there. We decided not to renew it. It was a big space, and just with kind of doing more things virtually with COVID, but also just kind of the future of where things are kind of heading. We decided we didn't need to renew such a big space. So we have moved to Wisconsin. So we have two addresses. So we have a warehouse, which is where we have all of the supplements. And so all of the supplements are shipping out of the warehouse. And we do have some office space if we want to be working at the warehouse, or certainly we can work from home as well. So we have the address for the warehouse. That's where all of the cheek swabs, we are asking that you send cheek swabs to the warehouse because somebody is here at the warehouse Monday through Friday. So grabbing mail and obviously, again, shipping out supplements. And then we also have a clinic. So we still do thermography. We still have some therapies set up. And once in a while, people will schedule a pickup of supplements, really only if they're coming to do a therapy or something. We have limited hours here. Right now, we are only at the physical clinic on Tuesdays. Usually Tuesday afternoon. So that's when we schedule all of our thermography appointments. And we have some standing patients who are coming in for some therapy. So that's where we do that. So that's this address here. So we have the Rivard Street and the suite number 300. So that's the physical clinic, and the warehouse is where we do all of shipping. And then we want the cheek swabs coming here. So yes, it can be confusing. Sorry about that. Hopefully that cleared everything up. And here is not a question, but a resource that somebody wanted to share. So thank you. We love it when people share resources. She's found it to be very helpful with the emotional work. She heard about this from another cancer survivor, investigated, tried it for herself, and has been impressed with the results. So it's a book, The Healing Code by Dr. Alexander Lloyd and Dr. Ben Johnson. So I've highlighted the name of it and the authors here up top in yellow. She encourages everyone to buy the book. You can find used copies on eBay and other sites for about $5. These men are Christian. The medicine is energy. The cost is free and the results are astounding. I didn't know for sure the effects the codes are having on my cancer, but the impact on my emotional health and anxiety, and therefore my stress at a cellular level, I believe is undeniable. I don't understand how it works any more than I understand how the Rife machine or even aspirin works, but clearly it's doing something. Just thought I'd put that out there so people can investigate if they are looking for ways to address this need. In my case, I believe it's been even more effective than counseling, and it certainly is much cheaper, which is a huge bonus. Absolutely. So thank you so much for sharing this. Again, the name of the book and the author is up top. Yeah, check it out. I'm going to check it out myself. We also do have a book and a workbook available on our website. It's called Braving the Storm. So it is about the emotional component of a diagnosis and just working through whether it's past trauma or just the trauma from the diagnosis itself. So working through those emotions surrounding a health crisis. And again, could be relating to past experiences. And then the workbook is, it's action, taking action, answering questions, jotting things down to work through some of these emotions. And then the author of Braving the Storm book and workbook has a group program. It's called Uplifted. Let us know if you want that information, but I know a number of our patients are part of the Uplifted program. So it's, it's group sessions, virtual group sessions led by a practitioner. So somebody who's obviously trained in, counseling and specific to a cancer diagnosis. So that is another option, but definitely check out this book, The Healing Code. I'm going to check it out as well. All right, and thank you for that. I am flying for the first time since being on my protocol. I'm guessing that I don't want the supplements in my carry-on to be x-rayed during the screening process. Is that correct? Does x-ray damage supplements? So even if you're packaging them in your checked luggage, it still does get x-rayed. So either way, if you're traveling and bring them with you, it still will be x-rayed. So to my knowledge, x-ray doesn't really damage supplements. Supplements aren't, living tissues. X-ray obviously can cause DNA damage, cellular damage. But I don't know that it will damage supplements. But either way, if you check it or carry it on, it's going to go through the x-ray. And so certainly if you want to just bring it with you on a carry-on, that way you're not going to be losing them. If they lose your luggage for some reason, I would just carry them on. And exciting, flying, going somewhere. Hopefully you're going somewhere for a fun vacation. Any recommendations for a waterproof bandage to keep the black salve area on her breast dry while at the beach? I don't plan to swim, but I do plan to wade in the water and walk along the water's edge. So I don't have a specific bandage, recommendation. Anything that is waterproof and, big enough to cover the area. I'm not sure how big it is, but anything should work, and just do the best that you can. Some of the waterproof bandages tend to be a little more sticky, so just be careful when you're removing it. And again, just make sure it's big enough so the sticky parts are not on the tender areas. So, and again, this is the same person, so she's going to a beach. So therapy, beach therapy, so that's wonderful. I hope you have a great trip. Okay. I asked Dr. Connors on the Wednesday Zoom call, but he didn't answer what natural thing I could take for pain. Just said that it was okay to take ibuprofen if I didn't do it every day, but now it's every day. So, excuse me. Sorry to hear that the pain is daily. I know you're struggling with that, and we are praying for you. I've listed here or copied some images, just from our store of options. And really, we don't know the one magical thing. There is no magical thing for pain. Everybody is different, but these are some options that you can try. We do have patients who are taking Evolve Limitless. So this is made from the medicinal component in beets. So beets are very healthy, but beets can be high in sugar. So this company has patented the Betadine. That is the active component in beets. They patented, so it's concentrated and you're not getting the sugar, and it works as an anti-inflammatory. So you could try this. A lot of people are taking it, for menstrual cramps or things like that, and it can help just, work for pain, work as an anti-inflammatory. Clear Inflam is another supplement that we have. So this is taking a number of herbs and things that have anti-inflammatory components and combining them all. So it works synergistically to really attack inflammation. Sometimes you have to take a lot of these capsules in order to kind of get control, kind of get ahead of the inflammation, which can be causing the pain. And so you might have to take a lot of them. All supplements and constituents have a half-life within the body. And so, you might need to take it multiple times throughout the day. If you just have, a little bowl set out with some of the Clear Inflam dumped into it, take two every you can, I don't know, every hour, every couple hours, just see how you do. CurcuClear is another anti-inflammatory. There is turmeric or curcumin in the Clear Inflam. This is just the curcumin component. So a lot of people can find this as a great help for inflammation. Once in a while, this can cause some digestive upset, some diarrhea in some patients. So, if that happens, you might need to back off. We have this pain CBD oil. So it is obviously CBD, which can help with anxiety, stress, relaxation, which can just put you in a more calm state. But then it's also got other components, other herbs that are helpful for pain as well. So you can try any of these and see what might work. Certainly there's programs on the Rife machine for pain. I know you're aware of that, and I think some of them haven't really been very successful for you, but anything for inflammation, anything for pain on the Rife machine could be helpful as well. Okay, I show a variant at the beginning of making glutathione naturally as well at the end of it. How does a coffee enema work to increase glutathione? Seems to me that the only way of increasing glutathione would be through an IV or liposomal glutathione. So with the coffee enemas, so there's a component to the coffee enema for liver detoxification. The caffeine in the coffee dilates the bile ducts in the liver, which help facilitate elimination of trapped toxins within the liver. So anytime we're helping dump those trapped toxins out of the liver, we are making room for other toxins to come into the liver so our body can work on those. So it's just facilitating this process, getting rid of the things that might be stuck and working to detox those things. Also involved in blood purification. So when we're introducing liquids into the colon is designed to absorb liquids. And so that's how we create stool. It's ultimately waste from digestion, and the colon is extracting the water from it. So it's forming the hard stool for waste. And so when we're introducing the liquid into the colon, your colon is going to absorb some of that liquid. And the palmitic acid within the coffee is the key thing that we're wanting to be absorbed, so that it's a powerful detoxifier. It works directly to stimulate glutathione. The GST gene is glutathione S transferase. And so this is an enzyme that is stimulated by the palmitic acid in coffee, and it increases production of glutathione by 700% in the liver, which is huge. And so that is how the coffee or the coffee enema is stimulating glutathione production. And then also anytime that you're working to help facilitate getting toxins out of the body, you're reducing the need for glutathione. So you're kind of working, coffee enemas are kind of working to spare glutathione, because when you're getting rid of those toxins that are stored in the liver, you don't need as much glutathione because you're getting rid of those excess toxins. But then you're also stimulating the production, you're stimulating that gene, which creates the enzyme, glutathione, that is directly related to binding onto toxins and getting them out of the system. So we're sparing the need for glutathione, and we're increasing glutathione production by using the coffee enema. All right, and the next question was from a food perspective. I see problems such as eating certain foods recommended with the AK, but not recommended on a low histamine diet. Does that mean I should supplement before eating any food to offset the possible variant? So yes, this is confusing for a lot of people, and our intention is not to be confusing, but sometimes things get confusing. So we may have recommended, your normal, a diet, and maybe, eliminate dairy, eliminate red meat or something like that. And then with genetics, we've also now added, oh, you have variants in some of your important genes that help us to get rid of excess histamines, whether in the tissue or whether in the digestive tract. And so based on that, we've now added the recommendation of being on a low histamine diet, and we may have added a supplement like Histoclear, the DAO enzyme, or we might have added histamine scavenger, natural clear hist. So it does get confusing because some of the original dietary recommendations conflict with the low histamine diet recommendations. And so remember the goal anytime we're recommending a low histamine diet or to avoid high histamine foods. The goal is not to eliminate every source of histamine, because that is not possible. The goal is just to reduce the burden so your body can catch up. So your body can do the work to get rid of the histamines. Your body is just a slower processor of histamines. And so if we are burdened by it, we can again get that backlog. And so we need to ease up on that to give our body a chance to catch up. So we can do that by eliminating high histamine foods. So if we've told you to eliminate those foods, we've outlined them. They are available in your binder, or when we made the recommendation, we gave you the list of some of the high histamine foods, not all of them, but just some of the major ones that we want you to limit or avoid. So you certainly can just do that. If we have, in that portion of it trumps anything that would have originally been outlined in your diet. So for example, chocolate is probably listed as one of the foods that you should avoid if you're on, you're trying to eliminate some histamines, but chocolate may have been marked as a yes, you can have that in your original dietary guide with us. But now the histamine foods, the high histamine foods that we want you to limit, are trumping your original recommendation. So now your recommendation is to not have chocolate. If chocolate is your thing that, you know, it makes you so happy, you can't imagine living life without chocolate, then yes, a supplement would be something that you should take when you're eating chocolate to provide your body with the environment to help break down and process that histamine that is in that food. And sometimes we want you to do both. We want you to lower the histamines in your food from a dietary perspective, and we do want you to take a supplement because yeah, maybe your genes are really bad in that area. And so we want to just attack it, you know, really hard. And it might not have to be that way forever, but for now, we're just going to really attack this. Histamines can be a driver for cancer. Histamines can create inflammation within the body. They can create a leaky gut scenario. So histamines are not so great for some people. So really looking at genetics is important. So, but yes, if we have recommended a supplement, eat that before any foods that you will be consuming that you know have histamines. And you might even need to be doing it even if you're not eating some of those high histamine foods to, again, just provide the environment where your body is able to catch up. Okay, so that kind of brought us through the questions that were submitted through the form. Through the Zoom call form. So now I'm going to take a look at the chats. Let me see here. Okay. Does reducing H. pylori was under the impression that iron supplements aren't good for cancer? This is the iron tonic different? So yes, so anytime there's an issue with iron and we have cancer, we're kind of in a catch-22 situation. So we've talked about iron can be a fuel source for cancer, but we cannot, obviously iron is essential for living. And so depending on where your iron levels are at, by looking at lab work, you know, we kind of assess, okay, do we need to supplement? Do we need an iron infusion? You know, so where are we at? So we really need to take a look at everybody from an individual perspective when we are recommending iron. For this person specifically, we did recommend the iron tonic. It is different than some of the iron supplements, not in that it's a different form of iron, but just that it has some additional things that can work as a cancer fighter while you're taking the iron, because like I said, iron can be a fuel source for cancer, but we can't live without iron. And so we're in this predicament. And so we need to make sure, you know, we need to get just some iron for the bodily function, but we're trying to do it in a way where we're minimizing the cancer from consuming the iron, and we want your healthy cells to get the iron. So we like to couple it with a cancer fighter. Sometimes it's artemisinin, sometimes it's other things, other cancer fighters. So Dr. Connors, this iron tonic that this person is asking about is something brand new. So Dr. Connors just came across this supplement, I think that same day that he had this consultation with this patient. And so he has recommended this iron tonic, which has cancer fighters in it as well. So that's what he would like you to take, in hopes that your healthy cells are going to uptake this iron. And if the cancer cells uptake it as well, which they are likely to, but there's cancer fighting properties within it as well. So we'll just monitor and pay close attention. How do you know if H. pylori is being reduced? So that's a good question, and I don't know if you can do, I'm assuming you can do some tests to check to see if H. pylori is present. If you have an H. pylori infection, I don't know, I'm assuming it would be a stool test. But it's H. pylori is something that is normal. It's, you know, a normal inhabitant of the gut environment, and it's just when it gets out of balance that it's not good, and it is the leading cause of stomach cancer. So how do we know if it's being reduced? Well, you're doing all the things to reduce it. You're taking the supplements that we know combat H. pylori. We're running programs on the Rife machine that are related, you know, to H. pylori. So without a test, you know, we don't really know for sure, but we're doing all the things that we know of to keep this in balance. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's okay. So somebody had just kind of mistyped the first question and retyped it and then said, sorry, not good at this. That's okay. I'm not checking anybody's spelling and I can interpret, you know, the gist of a question. I know people are either on their phones or they're on their computers and trying to listen and multitasking. So no worries. Any other questions? Let's see here. Oh, you're welcome. Yes, I know. I can relate, trying to type a question in quick and listen. It's a lot. All right. Any other questions for me? So as usual, just kind of a screenshot of the membership site for you, reminder for you guys to visit here often. We are updating it. I think there's some new information on the Zoom call page. Dr. Connors added kind of a little header for people to read, just to kind of reiterate the purpose of the Zoom calls and you know, to kind of stay in our lane a little bit. Unfortunately, we are being forced to, I mean, you know, we don't want to stray from our lane of natural health, but we are, you know, being monitored. You know, Dr. Connors has said this on previous Zoom calls, so it's not a secret, but we're just trying to, you know, conform and really kind of stick to some rules here, so we can keep our mission and ministry alive, just by being a little more strict on some of these rules as it pertains to, you know, medical questions and seeking advice for medical care. We just really can't cross that line or tiptoe that line, because we want to be able to keep doing what we're doing and keep our mission going and help as many people as we can from a natural perspective, you know, with the Rife, with supplements, with dietary advice, with genetics. So these are kind of that's our lane. So any questions regarding to those things are fair game and appropriate for the Zoom calls. And we just are asking that, you know, we unfortunately can't answer the questions pertaining to medications or conventional care. We just have to be more strict on that. Any other questions for me? If not, a little bit of a short call today. Hopefully everybody, like I said, had a good weekend. We'll have a good week. Send us more questions. Dr. Connors will be answering on Wednesday. And I do have a number of patients where I sent out genetic information. So reminder that if you haven't had your genetic review yet, you are invited to the Thursday, 2 p.m. genetic review Zoom call where you can ask questions. Somebody had questions that she wasn't sure. These ones were about genetics, and so she wasn't sure. So I included them obviously on this one because they do pertain, coffee enemas pertain to protocol, and they pertain to genetics as well. So just send us your questions and certainly jump on that genetic specific one if you do have some more genetic detailed questions. All right, everyone, I don't think any more chats came in, so we will sign off for today. Everybody have a good day, and we will be connecting throughout the week, and then of course, next Monday. All right, take care. We're praying for you guys. Bye-bye.